Everyone.
Am I audible?
Good morning, everyone. Yes, Sheshadri, you are audible. Good to see you.
Richard, the call is already recorded, is it?
Yes, that is the functionality with Microsoft Teams. Once you start the meeting, it already begins.
Oh, okay. I wanted to bring up the screen once to understand if my presentation is fine. Is it okay?
Absolutely.
Hello, folks. Everyone. Good morning.
Good morning, Richa.
So can you see just the slide or any write-ups as well?
Write-ups as well.
Is it? Now
Yes.
you can see just the screen, but I can't see the write-ups. How do I do that? Like I have a backup, that's not a problem, but I just wanted to understand.
Not good with presentation, so I'm not the right guy to answer.
Good
morning, everyone.
Good morning, Mr. Ramesh.
Sorry, what do you want, Nivedita?
Yeah, Richa, so this presentation has a write-up and the screen that I want to show. So how do I just project the screen, only the presentation on the screen, and then I don't want the write-ups to be visible?
Slideshow, right? Next one. Yeah.
Yeah, slideshow, when I do, I can see the screen like this, but
Correct.
I can't see the write-ups.
The write-up, you will have some option on your side to show it to you.
Is that
As a reading view, it won't come.
Reading view, it is the same. This is another thing.
No, that's not it.
Okay, fine. I just wanted to understand how do I do that. I think there is something called duplicate screen or something. Can anybody help me with
You
that?
have two screens? Do you have two screens?
No, in this also, this only we can do that, no?
No, if you have a two screen, you can do a duplication or extend your screen.
Yes, you
If
need
have only one
another
screen, you cannot do it.
monitor or something. If you are just using your laptop, then you can't.
So I'm using double screen, so I can do it.
Okay, fine. And then let me see what I can do. 1 minute.
Yeah, you can try one more thing. When you are sharing, there will be some options. To go to share button, there will be some option called presenter mode. In the presenter mode itself, content only, standouts, slide by slide. You can try that.
I have an option like
It
consent
says
only.
to open presenter view, you have to go with presenter view. Click the slideshow tab and select the use presenter view checkbox. Are you seeing something like that when you share your screen in slideshow?
When I share the slideshow, is it?
Share this, yeah, open the slideshow and are you seeing some options at the bottom? You'll see some options at the left bottom when you are doing the slideshow, right?
No, it just shows slideshow, that's all. That's
slideshow. You will see some options at the bottom of the screen. You should.
I have reading view, slide.
No.
Sort of.
No. What Richa is telling is once you click slideshow, you should have few options that may be visible for you, may not be visible for you. So our question is, are you seeing some options?
No, I can't see anything.
If not, try and right click, go to slideshow, try and right click.
Okay. Right click, yeah.
No. After doing the slideshow, the slideshow, yeah. Try and right click. Okay. Yeah, you're getting that option. You're getting that option actually. Show presenter view.
Okay, here.
Click on that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so you see left bottom, you are seeing some options.
Yes. See
so
all
one
slides.
of that options will give you actually the notes. It seems. Click on the three dots and see. You should be able to see the notes. We shouldn't.
You shouldn't, right? Yeah. Keep slides updated. Screen, black screen, white screen.
So are you able to see the notes?
I can see the notes. Yes.
Yeah, so
done.
done.
Perfect.
Done for the day.
IT, we
Ask
have IT support.
Yeah.
Ask Google.
Okay. Sorry, what is it?
Ask Google, it will give you the solution every time.
Acha, like that. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
So I'll keep this slide on, right? So
Yeah.
it's
Okay. Not
Not
now,
now.
when you are
When
coming
you
to
start.
okay. Yeah. I don't know. I can. You can see the slide with the write-ups, I guess. Is it?
Yeah, you can take down your screen share when you start, then go to the slideshow and do the settings that you did.
Okay.
Richard, have you pinged Vivek? Is he joining?
Yes, I have pinged him. He just responded, just logging in. Yeah, I just pinged him. He should be there in 60 seconds. To all the guests out there, we are just waiting for our keynote speaker to join in. So once he joins in, the meeting will begin. There you go. Vivek has joined in. Good morning, Vivek.
You are on mute, Vivek.
Hey, good morning.
Yep.
Good
Hi,
morning.
Vivek. Yep. I think we're good to start. Vivek, you want to do any A/B checks or are you all set?
If you can hear me, then this is good enough.
That's it. All right. Perfect. Okay. Yep. Richard, over to you.
Hello, everyone. A very good morning and welcome to the open house of Speakers for Toastmasters Club. It's another Saturday morning and I see a lot of familiar faces online. However, I see a lot of guests present in the meeting as well. I would request you all that please make sure that you engage throughout the session and understand how the meeting looks like. Before we begin, how has your Saturday been so far, folks? Anyone had a lazy Saturday, or like people who have gotten up early, gotten ready, done some workouts? Anyone?
Morning started
How has
at
your
6
Saturday?
a.m.
Lazy Saturday morning?
6 a.m. it started off.
Okay, Ritika has been too busy. I know area director can't, take anything else. Okay. Nonetheless, we are in a Toastmasters club meeting. Even if it's been a lazy start to your morning, please know that it is going to be invigorating, rejuvenating, re-energizing, and a great start to your weekend this time, right? With that, let me state what or why we meet as a Toastmasters club, right? So the mission of a Toastmasters club is to provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. That, my dear friends, is the mission of a Toastmasters club. And how do we uphold this mission? We start with following a few basic ground rules. And let's please, the first being, please let us all take 30 seconds to mute any disturbing devices that you might have, that is phones or alarms or your smartwatches, anything. That's the first. Second is, please be on mute if you are not speaking on stage, because there'll be background noises at all our places and we do not want to disturb the speaker. The third is, please make sure that you do not use or do not talk about sensitive topics. That's like sex, religion, or politics. We do not want to hurt the sentiments of anyone present in this meeting. And lastly, please try and be on camera as much as possible so that we can have a very engaging and interactive meeting. With that, I am Richa Agarwal, your Sergeant at Arms for the meeting. And let me now introduce the presiding officer of the meeting for today, who is the president of our club for the second term running. He is a fitness enthusiast and a very disciplined person, someone who I know sticks to a very regular routine and is very, very strong-minded, I have to say. With that, let us all welcome Toastmaster Richard as the presiding officer for the meeting. Over to you, Richard.
Thank you so much, DTM Richa. It's been not so good week for me personally because I've been under the weather. So apologies if you hear any unpleasant voice of mine. I've been coughing a lot over the last 4 days. With that being said, our TMOD said she will cover the Toastmasters vision, mission, and values. So I will keep that aside for our Toastmaster of the day today. And let me start this meeting with an Irish philosophy that I read this week. It says, if you are unwell, there are two things to worry about. Either you will get well or you will die. If you get well, there is nothing to worry about. If you die, there are two things to worry about. Either you will go to heaven or you will go to hell. If you go to heaven, there is nothing to worry about. But if you go to hell, you will be so busy shaking hands with your friends, so you don't have time to worry. Basically, the story highlights is that worrying is unnecessary and futile in certain situations, especially if the outcome is beyond our control. We have lots of guests today. So let me call upon Jisha, whom I spoke to last week. Jisha, could you please introduce a couple of lines about yourself and where do you work and how did you hear about Toastmasters?
Hi, everyone. I'm Jisha here. I work with Myntra. I'm at the HR team of Myntra, just about to complete 1 year. How did I hear about Toastmaster? I really don't recollect because it's been a long time since I've been hearing about Toastmasters, right? It's just that I have a huge stage fear. I have a lot of inhibitions, even coming on video call, right? So I thought, yeah, maybe I should just get started somewhere, even if it's late. Yeah. So that's the reason I'm here as a guest.
Thank you, Jisha. Thank you. And I hope we try to eliminate the stage fear that we all have in our daily lives. And I hope you join the club very soon. The next guest that we have is Anthony Joseph. Anthony, could you please share a couple of lines about yourself and how did you hear about Toastmasters?
Yeah, hi. My name is Anthony. I work in an advertising firm. It's called Group M Media. So yeah, stage fear is the biggest challenge. You know, having a conversation with people, especially people who are seniors to me. Right. I'm sorry, there is a lot of noise. I'm actually driving. But having said that, speaking to seniors is the biggest challenge. So hence I want to really get away with all of this. That's the reason. And I got to know about Toastmasters from my wife who attended a program in Standard Chartered. So that's the whole thing.
Thank you, Anthony. with that, I have few announcements to make. Let's give a huge round of applause to our area director, Toastmaster Ritika, who won the Toastmaster of the month for the month of February. So congratulations, Ritika. The second announcement that I have is, as we planned in the month of December, we will try and having a reverse meeting in the month of March. That was the plan, and we'll try to stick to the plan. And I want everybody to cooperate and participate in the reverse meeting, which we haven't had. Probably I haven't participated in one, and I'm sure many of you haven't. So let's try to stick to the plan and execute the reverse meeting. Last but not the least is we are in the month of March, which means renewals. We have two awards that we can win. Number one is Early Renewal Champion Award. The deadline is 15th March 2024. And what is the criteria for this award is 10 members need to renew by March 15th. We already have 2 members who have renewed, which is myself and Raman. And I would encourage all the other members to renew by 15th March. And there is another award, which is Early Renewal Champion Elite Award, which has a deadline of 15th March 2024. And the criteria for this award is 20 members need to renew by March 15th. So let's aim and win one of the two awards and sign up as soon as possible, especially the deadline is 15th of March, which is next Friday. With that being said, I would like to call this meeting to order. And let me introduce our Toastmaster of the day, who is originally from the Garden City, Nama Bengaluru. She's an avid reader and gardener. And what I love to see in her WhatsApp status is her engagement with her kids, which makes me happy looking at her engaging with her kids on a daily basis, being with them with them and enjoying the sessions in the school. That there might be a sports day, there might be a parents teachers meeting. So I see the statuses that she puts up, and she's currently an assistant manager at EY. And her favorite quote is, "Action is the mother of all accomplishments." So please welcome Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Nivedita.
Thank you, Toastmaster Richard, for that lovely introduction. Right. Good morning, everyone. Before I start the meeting, I just wanted to show a small presentation. Just give me a minute. I'll just bring up the slide and then I can continue with it. Can anybody help me understand if you can see the screen?
Yes, we can see the screen.
All right, fine. Thank you so much. All right. Well, yeah. So thanks again, Richard, for that lovely introduction. Hi, everyone. My name is Nivedita, and I'm glad to be your host for today's meeting. So this meeting is not like any other meetings because this is our open house meeting, and we also have a keynote speaker who's here to help us understand how Toastmasters actually help us in a professional journey. Now, who our keynote speaker is, let that be a secret. We'll introduce him in a while. But before that, I wanted to understand if anybody can or if anybody knows what an open house meeting is from the members or from the guests. If you can help me understand if you know what an open house meeting is.
Where we invite guests. Meeting where we invite guests.
Yes, so almost there, right? So this meeting is conducted every year, and we invite our guest prospective members and our existing members as well to help them understand what Toastmaster is all about and how Toastmaster will help us in our professional and personal journey. Okay, so yeah, now that we understand what an open house meeting is all about, let's try and understand what Toastmaster is. So some of you may have already heard about Toastmaster, some may not have heard about it. So just for the benefit of all, Toastmaster is a worldwide non-profit educational organization that empowers people to become more effective communicator and a leader. We are over around 270,000 members in more than 14,200 clubs across 148 countries. Well, that's huge, 148 countries, right? And I'm proud to be one of the members. So now that we understand what a Toastmaster is, we need to understand how Toastmaster helps us with our helps in improving our skills, right? So we have a plethora of opportunities once we join Toastmasters, because we have a different tools and techniques in place which will help us enhance our knowledge and broaden our horizon. So it will help you enhance your critical thinking skills or time management or listening abilities and even impromptu speaking. So the Toastmaster environment will also help you take the feedbacks very gracefully and then implement that very effectively at your work or in your personal life. So these are the skills that we are going to gain by joining Toastmaster. Now, we know that the different kind of skills that we are gonna get by joining Toastmasters, but what is that you're supposed to do once you join Toastmaster in order to gain those skills, right? So once you join Toastmaster, you will be, you'll have to take an assessment and you will have to select the skills that you will have to focus and improve upon. So once you are done with the analysis, you will be given with a list of, or I think like 3 pathways that you may have to select. And from there on, your journey begins. So once you join Toastmaster, you will also be assigned with a mentor in the respective team that the club that you join, and you can actually reach out to any of us and for any queries that you have, and you will get all the guidance that is actually required. Okay, so now with that, we understand how the pathway works as well, right? So in a while, let's try and understand how joining Speaker Squad Toastmaster can actually help you reach your goal. So I'll talk about that in a while. Before that, let's start our Toastmaster meeting. So any Toastmasters meeting is divided into 3 parts. So the first one would be the prepared speech section. The second one would be the table topic. The third one would be the evaluation section. So in the first section, where our members will prepare in advance for 5 to 7 minutes, and these speeches will have a set objective and an individual evaluator. The second part is a fun-filled table topic, as I already mentioned, and this particular section can be attended by our guest, prospective members, or our existing members as well. And you will have to talk on the topic that is given by the table topic master. And the third one is very important. It is an evaluation section where our general evaluator for the day will give us a report on the entire meeting. Okay, so having said that, let me invite on stage our general evaluator for the day, Toastmaster Ritika. So she is a native of Delhi. She is born in Calcutta and she is brought up in Vizag. However, she is currently working in Pune. I feel it's quite a journey. And yeah, she's currently working as an assistant vice president with Citibank. And her favorite quote is, "Do your best and just leave the rest." Over to you, Toastmaster Ritika.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nivedita. If you can exit the screen share.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. Today, I have taken up the role of the general evaluator For the benefit of all the guests, what's a general evaluator? Well, in Toastmasters, we believe that feedback and evaluation is breakfast for champions. And that is why every session has a general evaluator who holistically evaluates the entire session, understands how the quality was, makes recommendations, and shares the points at the end of the session. So as a general evaluator today, I will be doing just that. But we don't work in silos, we work as a team. And that's why we have a tag team today who is a timer, our counter, and grammarian. So without further ado, let me welcome the timer for today, Toastmaster Madhusmita, to please explain her role today. Over to you, Toastmaster Madhusmita.
Ritika, good morning everyone. I am playing the role of timer today. So basically today we will have keynote speaker and the timing would be 15 to 20 minutes. I will be recording the timing and will share my background color something at the end of 15 minutes. I'll change my background color to green. Hopefully everyone can see the color.
Yes.
And okay. And at the end of 18 minutes, I will change my color to yellow. Screen color or background color would be yellow. And then at the end of 20 minutes, my background color would be red. I will be recording the time taken during the speech, and whenever the general evaluator calls me to submit the report, I'll show the time taken during the speech. Over to you, Toastmaster Ritika.
Madhusmita, do you want to call out the timing for the table topics as well?
Okay. Okay, so table topics, it would be 2 to 3 minutes.
1 to 2 minutes.
Okay, 1 to 2 minutes. Sorry, I forgot today would be table topics. I thought it would be only keynote speaker. So, okay, table topics is 1 to 2 minutes. At the end of 1 minute, I will share the background color as green. And at the end of 1 minute 30 seconds, I will change my background color to yellow. And at the end of 2 minutes, I will change the background color to red. And yeah.
Sure. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Madhusmita. All the best for your role. Moving on, let's welcome the our counter for today, Toastmaster Seshadri, to please explain the role. Over to you, Seshadri.
Sheshadri, you're on mute, or I can't hear you.
Let me know if I'm audible.
Now you're audible, Sheshadri.
Thank you. The purpose of our counter is to note the words and sounds that are used as crutch words or as pause or filler words by anyone who speaks. During the meeting, I will listen for the overused words, including and, well, but, so, and you know. So these kind of words, I will listen for all the filler words, including, yeah, the sounds as well. And I will also note when a speaker repeats a word or a phrase, you know what, I mean, right. So these kind of words. At the end of the meeting, I'll report the number of times that each speaker used these expressions. Just note that this is a quantitative feedback that you can positively use to reinforce your learnings and acknowledge your mistakes. So with that, I would uh, thank you all, and over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Seshadri. Moving on, let's quickly welcome our grammarian for today, DTM Richa Agarwal, to please explain her role. Over to you, Richa.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ritika. Hello, everyone. I'm back again in the role of grammarian. And as most of us have joined Toastmasters to improve on our communication skills, no language, no communication can be complete without improving on the language. Hence, the role of grammarian. As the grammarian of the day, I will be keeping note of all the good usages that we have spoken so that we can all learn collectively, along with points or improvement areas that most of us can utilize. Along with that, there's also we also want to improve on our vocabulary, and hence I will be introducing a word of the day and a phrase of the day for all of us to take back from this meeting. The word of the day and phrase of the day have already been put in the chat, and they should be on your screen right now. The word of the day today is invigorate, which means to give or energy to. The usage could be the shower invigorated her, or a good workout invigorates me. The phrase of the day today is open the door to, which means create opportunities for success. And a usage of it could be even a small effort to attend Toastmasters meeting can open doors for you. So with that, I would request everyone that try and use this word of the day and phrase of the day as much as possible in today's meeting and also after today's meeting. Anytime, as our general rule goes, anytime someone uses these words or phrase of the day, we give a thumbs up. So please do, either using your video or the reaction buttons. And I'll come at the end of the meeting and give the report on how many times we use this word and phrase of the day, along with what's something that we can take back grammar wise. With that, back to you, General Evaluator Toastmaster Ritika.
Thank you so much, DTM Richa. I think a good quality session invigorates any general evaluator's role and it opens doors to great learnings. With that, let's give a big round of applause to the tag team. They've got lots to do today. Thank you so much. And with that, I hand it back to our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Nivedita.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ritika. All right. So finally, it's that time to introduce our keynote speaker. Please welcome DTM Vivek Shah. He is an exceptional Toastmaster with an impressive track record, which includes 8 Triple Crown Awards. He's taken multiple leadership roles, such as Coronation Program Chair in 2021 and Club Extension Chair in 2020. Vivek embodies excellence in service and leadership. His dedication is further showcased through his contribution as a DLC member in 2019 and 2022. Please join me in welcoming DTM Vivek Shah, who will help us understand how Toastmasters help in our professional growth. Can we have a big round of applause for his exceptional work towards Toastmasters? Over to you, DTM Vivek Shah. Thank you. You're on mute.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, Nivedita, for that introduction. And welcome everyone on this Saturday morning. And I'm already invigorated with all the energy that I've seen from everyone around here and hoping I can add on to that. But first of all, this is a question for everyone here. How many of you know swimming? Okay, quite a few of you know swimming. The follow-up question is, how many of you learned swimming from a book? Yeah, I mean, if anyone does put their hand up, I'm going to have a separate one-on-one conversation with you. But most of us learn swimming in a water body, whether it's a sea, a lake, a swimming pool. There could be varying water bodies, but you learned it in the actual water body. Communication and leadership is somewhat similar. You can read as many Simon Sinek podcasts, books on communication and leadership. You have only truly learned it when you practice it. And for me, that practice ground is Toastmasters. See, the thing with communication is, if I ask all of you a definition of communication and what good communication is, you'll probably be like, hey, I can speak really well. I have a great command of the language that I speak in, whether it's English or it's vernaculars. and I'm able to communicate those ideas across to everyone, which is a fair definition in my mind. But one thing that I did learn is communication is 20% of what you say and 80% of what the audience hears. I'll take a second for you to just digest that. 20% of what you say and 80% of what the audience hears. Suddenly you realize the person on stage doesn't seem to have as much power as they thought they had. Because you're only controlling 20% of the narrative. 80% is what they hear, which is why it becomes even more important for us to practice our communication. Because while I can practice in front of a mirror, and I can practice and feel like, wow, I've really got this covered. What I can't practice for is the audience hearing the same thing that I practiced? Hence, you need that playground where there is varying audiences, the different, and each meeting in a Toastmasters meeting, for example, you have different people turn up, you have guests, you have friends, you go to different Toastmasters club, the different people who turn up, and that I feel is a very interesting way to learn on how you cater to that audience. The same message that you may have created for across all the clubs, but you have to change that speech to cater to those different audiences. Now, why does all of this matter for me in my personal life? Because, hey, I have my weekends, I have my weekdays, I have my work, I have my family. So why practice all of this in the Toastmasters session is what Vivek's asking me to do, because I'm not going to be talking to these people ever again. Well, because in what I define as the real world, or the things that are of primary importance for each one of us, whether it's family, community, your workplace, irrespective of whether you're a corporate or you're a startup, you're a homemaker, we are humans. One thing humans really depend on is communication. So no matter how much artificial intelligence takes over all our work, changes our lifestyles, I can guarantee you one thing is not going to change, is the need for communication and the need of leadership in this dynamic and evolving world. And in those cases, whether it's in the corporate place or elsewhere, often communication is done. Okay, I'm going to skip the part about spilling tea and gossip and things like that, which also are important in terms of your mental well-being and just connecting with people. But oftentimes communication is about getting something done. You are trying to solve a problem at work, and there is someone else in your team who has expertise in that area and can help you solve it. You could be a manager who's telling your team what they need to deliver on next. You could be an individual talking to a global manager asking for a promotion. I say take 30 seconds and each one in your own mind, think of reasons why you need to communicate with people. You could be an introvert like me who doesn't really want to communicate with people and I'm happy curling up in a corner with my book. Or you could be an extrovert who gets invigorated with the opportunity to talk to different people. But just take those 30 seconds and think of the various reasons why you communicate with people in your day-to-day life. And I'm sure multiple reasons have popped up in your mind, and keep them with you because that will help you as we go through this journey. Now, like I said, communication is important for various reasons. You identify those reasons that are closer to your heart, or you are forced to do them on a day-to-day basis to get things done. Now, how do you make sure that what you ask people to do is what they will do? right? And that's where communication style becomes really important to understand. What is your communication style? What suits you better? There are various speakers that each one of us loves, admires, endorses. Let's hear out a few names. Who, according to you, has been a great speaker or communicator in your lives? You can just unmute yourself and say a few names out or put in the chat, whichever way you're comfortable. And they don't need to be famous. Right? It could even be people around you that you adore. It could be people famous, but someone you look up to for being a great communicator.
The podcast that I really liked, which I have heard over 10 times, is Joe Rogan with Naval Ravikant. For every question that he asked, he had such a answer where he was able to describe it as very simply yet elegant. So that is the interview or the podcast that stood out for me, which I've heard it over and over again.
So Naval is someone you find as a very great communicator, and you also highlighted a reason why you find him is the ability to crystallize and make concise the information and the philosophies that he has specifically in the realm of financial wellness. Any other confident communicators?
I think Barack Obama, the way he communicates and the way he lists always 3 points. Number one, number two, number three. I like the structure with which he speaks. It's so clear and very concise at the same time.
Yep, no, thanks for that. Barack Obama also has 2 Grammys thanks to that communication style. One of the few US presidents or any political leaders to have a Grammy. Let's take up one more.
Yeah, I find Sadhguru as a really very good communicator. The way he answers the queries, it really helps us to understand what actually the question is, what actually the problem was. And it is us, the way we look at the problem, and it is we creating the problem for ourselves. Okay. So the way he tells the solutions and the approaches is really convincing, and I find it very useful.
Nice. Yep, that's another. And if people know of AMSR, I always feel like when he's talking, it's got this soothing pace to how he speaks, and you are sort of reeled in to listen in. And as rightly pointed by Abhinay, that he's able to take the matter at hand and deconstruct it in a way that we are able to understand and acknowledge what the challenges are and get to the crux of it. I also see on the chat, Nivedita has put in Indra Nui and Priyanka Chopra. So one thing I just wanted to highlight by asking all of you all these things is there is no single answer to being a great communicator. You just noticed we've heard 5 different names, and each of them has a very different style to themselves. So I wanted to make sure that each one of you realize that you do not need to be like someone else. You yourself are brilliant. All you need is some fine polishing in your own mind so that that confidence comes out when you speak, because you have the content, you are the subject matter expert. And that in the corporate world specifically is one of the most important skills, because I'm just going to assume at this point, but most of us are working in a knowledge economy, which is where knowledge is power is the most simplest tenet that we all work with. Person with more experience more is assumed to have more knowledge and hence is more important in this ecosystem. A lot of our promotions are driven by the fact that we are considered as subject matter experts in our space. Now, what does that mean in a day-to-day corporate lifestyle, and why does communication become important there? We have acknowledged the fact that each one of us is a subject matter expert. Now, companies are figuring out day-to-day business challenges. Now, they unfortunately don't have a Sadguru to help solve for them, but they have you. So your manager is calling you into a meeting suddenly, and 99% of the time they've called you into the meeting because you're a subject matter expert on a particular area and they need you to chime in. So you walk into the room and you have all the CXO sitting in the room looking at you and, hey, can you explain how can we solve for this, or do you have ideas on this particular problem statement? Most of us are like, oh wow, at least from my perspective, if I walk into the room, I'm like, all these people that I look up to, all these are superstars, rock stars, because that's why they are in the CXO suite and they are asking me a question. Can I give them an answer which could be much better than what each one of them would already know? I start underplaying myself, and that plays out in my communication style potentially. It'll be like, because I'm thinking, am I saying anything right? Am I saying something stupid? Will I end up saying something stupid? And the power of manifestation is, if I'm thinking that, that will happen and I will say something stupid. But remember, you were the subject matter expert, which is why they called you in, which means whatever you say has value. And hence you should feel confident about that. That is the underlying confidence that you need within yourself, that yes, you are the person for the job. Once you have that confidence, it will show in your communication style. So you'd go in with that confidence, explain whatever that perspective is. It could be right, it could be wrong, but they just want to hear your opinion about it and debate about it. That's how all corporates work. So one, you need to build that confidence in your communication style and go ahead and speak about it. Now you'd ask that, how do I practice this? Because it's not every day that my manager calls me into the room. And when they call me into the room, that is a do or die situation. Because most cases, that is that first impression that will potentially last forever. While I disagree with that statement, but I do agree with the statement that first impressions do create an impact. You get an opportunity to mold it over different iterations, but it does play a heavy influence in that first interaction, which is why you want to practice for that beforehand. And that's where it goes back to, where is that playground where I can practice? I asked all of you about how you learn swimming. I'm sure none of you learned swimming in the Pacific Ocean on the first try. You probably learned it at a swimming pool next door and potentially started off with the smaller end of the pool rather than the deeper end. And you slowly graduated to the deeper end, where to a point you said it doesn't matter the depth of the pool because I know swimming. So whether I'm swimming in the sea, excluding the salt, which I'm personally not comfortable with hitting my eye, but whether it's the sea, whether it's a 4 feet pool, whether it's a 10 feet deep pool, once you know swimming, you don't care. And that's the same thing with, once you're confident about your public speaking and communication, it doesn't matter whether you're in a one-on-one conversation, you're in a room full of 10 people, room full of 1,000 people, room full of 10,000 people. It's the same analogy that plays out. Once you've understood the fundamentals and you're confident about yourself and your skills, the water body or this convention hall that you're speaking at does not matter at all. Why am I reiterating on all of these things? Because there's one underlying message that you hopefully have got so far is, practice makes perfect and practice brings in confidence, right? And from that perspective, Toastmasters is a playground for me, because you know what happens over here? You can practice your different styles. You might succeed in some, you might fail in some. And honestly, I want everyone to fail in your Toastmasters speeches, which means you have gone outside your comfort zone and tried out a style that you usually don't. And if you fail, you learn two things from it. Similar to how we started off the meeting, that two things could happen. One is you figured out that this is not your cup of tea and it's out of your control anyway, or you'd get constructive feedback to say that, if you did these things, you could improve upon them. And then you practice that and you come up with a version 2.0 of that, 3.0 of that, till you're confident with that style and are able to leverage it in the corporate or wherever you need with the confidence that you need. Because like I said, the audiences change, so your communication style needs to change. You can't say that this is my communication style, irrespective of who the audience is. And so knowing that tool set helps you deliver the message that's the most important at that point to that audience. The other thing with Toastmasters is if you fail in your speech objectives, in what you are trying to deliver, you know what the worst that happens? The audience claps for you. Which is probably what will happen at the end of this speech. But the point being that this is a supportive crowd that is going through the same journey as you. They are also trying to build on their confidence. They're also trying to learn, and hence they have empathy towards what you are trying to do. And from that perspective, they are going to share their thoughts and opinions, what we call as evaluation. Remember, it's not judgment. Judgment is about what is right, what is wrong. Evaluation is sharing my view of what I think the messaging that you sent was delivered to me. That feedback goes back to the point that I made at the earliest. I can practice as much as I want in front of the mirror, but I will not get that feedback of what did you hear, what did you listen. And that is important to help me cater my messaging to my audience. The same thing plays out from a leadership perspective. As you interact with different people, you need to change your leadership style. And Toastmasters provides that opportunity to practice those skills, because you're going to meet introverts in your team, you're going to meet extroverts, you're going to meet people who are always going to irritate you because they really want to push the bar on getting something done which is important for them, and you might think differently. How do you manage this diverse group of people? In the playground, again, Toastmasters, in this meeting itself, through the introductions that we have got, we have seen a huge diverse set of people who are sitting in this meeting, and engaging with them, getting such a group is very difficult to do elsewhere. And this is again that opportunity which will help open doors for each one of us, depending on whatever our goals and objectives are. For me, Toastmasters is that one t-shirt size that actually fits all. Hopefully it fits you too. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster. Sorry, thank you, DTM Vivek Shah, for such an inspiring keynote address that left us invigorated. So points that I took from here is practice, which is very important. The second thing is the 80-20 rule. You just speak 20%, 80% is the audience. And the last one is the importance of understanding the audience. So yes, the speech was definitely insightful. Now I just want to understand, does the crowd or the audience have any questions for our keynote speaker? If yes, this is that time to ask him. Any questions at all? Okay.
Everyone understood everything.
Yeah. All right. I see Richard has a question here. Yes, Richard.
Yeah, so the question is, Vivek, what is the best? Okay, let's say somebody new joins into a Toastmasters club. Obviously, everybody has different answers, but what do you think is the best way to get the best within the first 6 months? Where do they start? Or what do you think, how they should map themselves out is my question.
Okay, and I think the most important step towards that answer is understanding their objectives and goals of why they're joining Toastmasters. I said it's a one t-shirt size that fits all. The beauty of that is it obviously fits all. The con of that is there are so many options that you could feel overwhelmed when you come in and be like, hey, there's so many things, what do I focus on? And which is why it becomes important to understand what the goals and objectives are. And it could be the VP membership, the VP education, or any of the officers or members who have that first up conversation with the individual to understand that, and then help them identify what are the opportunities and avenues available that they can work towards. Right? If you specifically go towards speech objectives, which I think usually a lot of people come in to improve on their communication style, which I would say I love the framework that Toastmasters meeting has. Is one is obviously first up, you need to take up roles, because this isn't one of those classrooms where you sit in the classroom, you walk out and you become a great communicator. It's the experiential playground that I spoke about, where you learn, hurt yourself, and get up, dust yourself, and become an improved person. What I love about these meetings is it has roles for everyone starting off with their journey. If you are concerned about content, you have the tag team. You don't have to create any content as a tag team. You be an active listener. You hear what everyone else is saying. You track on what everyone else is saying, and that's your content, right? Because what that allows you is the content is prepared for you. Now you're only focused on practicing, on speaking in front of an audience with content that's already prepared for you. So you're breaking up the fear of speaking into multiple components. One is the ability to just stand up and speak in front of an audience. Content, so the tag team, I feel, provides that opportunity where content is being prepared for you by everyone else speaking. You just have to actively listen in, collate that information, and come up and speak. So that helps you build that confidence. Once you have built that confidence, then you go into preparing your content and do the prepared speech section. There you have prepared your content beforehand, practiced it, and you're going on stage because now you're comfortable speaking on stage, and now you're comfortable speaking with prepared content on stage. The next level then that comes up is, now are you comfortable speaking on stage on any topic? And that, as all of you have already realized in your mind, is the other section called table topics. I feel that structure within the first 6 months, if someone's focused on, should give them the framework on which that builds their confidence across these 3 skill sets that will help them overall become a confident communicator.
Thank you.
Thank you, Vivek.
All right. I'm sure this. Okay. Yes, Himanshu.
Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, Vivek.
Abhinay here.
Hey, Manshu.
I have two-part question. One is, what is the right pacing for the levels in terms of actually giving the speeches and taking other roles? That is the first part question. Second part question is, how do you find a coach once you identify what your weakness is? Let's say it's non-verbal communication. How do you find that coach specifically for that skill that you're trying to build?
Sure. I'll start off with the easier question part answer first, which is the second part. Toastmasters as an organization, and you have all you have your club officers who are right there to help you identify, based on what the goals and objectives you said, to help identify a mentor within the club, outside the club, who is skilled in the skills that you are looking to improve on. Initially, you'd be like, hey, I don't even know what I need to improve on. And you'd get someone who's an experienced Toastmaster to be your mentor. Now that person will identify along with you areas that you want to improve on. And it could be like, hey, so and so is really good at non-verbal communication. So and so is really good at motivational speeches. So depending on your goals, they can help you identify that Toastmaster. And as you yourself become more experienced, you can also go up to people and say, hey, can I really admire how you are able to do this particular skill. Could you teach me, or could you give me guidance on that? Like, you should feel comfortable in this setup that we have to be able to reach out to people. And then a follow-up question that you haven't asked about, but is on top of your mind is, yes, you can have multiple coaches / mentors at a given point in time, because each one of us, like I said, is unique. The confident communicator examples that we took earlier, right, from Indra Nooyi to Barack Obama, you could have all 5 of them as your mentors because each one is good at a particular skill that you want to learn about. So don't feel that you have got yourself into a fixed marriage where you can only work with one mentor with one skill. You're actually allowed to hit the entire dating pool and talk to different people. So that's the second part of your question. Hopefully that kind of answered that. To the first part, pacing is also very dependent on each one's own objectives and goals, which sounds like a beaten record, but it's very important you understand what your objectives and goals are. For people who are like, I'm confused, I just want to be a better speaker, how do I start off? What I usually tell my mentees, and in my introduction, they mentioned 8-time Triple Crown awardee, blah, blah. So what Triple Crown is, for everyone who doesn't know, is in Toastmasters, we saw in the deck that, there is curriculum, you go up that curriculum with different projects and levels. If you do 3 levels in a given...
Abdu, you should think and answer, Abdu.
So if you get in, like you do 3 levels in a given Toastmasters year, you get something called a Triple Crown. Now that is something I have been asking my mentees to do, is if you're still figuring things out and you want to figure out how do you pace a speech, try aiming for a Triple Crown. It's a 2-pronged approach. One is obviously you get recognition at the end of it, and who doesn't love recognition for all the hard work that we are putting in? That's one aspect. Second thing, it really helps you pace, because what is a Toastmasters like a financial year is a July to June, which is 12 months. On an average, 3 levels means approximately 10 projects. So you're doing 1 project per month with 2-month summer vacation, like the school days. So I think that if you break it up that way, you're probably setting yourself right. And there'll be months where you're busy and you're not able to give a project, and there'll be months where you're able to give 2 projects. But once you break it up from an atomic habit standpoint into the smaller goals, it becomes easy for you to track month on month where you're at, right? You could be like, hey, I'm ahead of schedule, I can take that vacation this month, or I'm behind schedule and I'm going to do 2 speeches or 2 projects this month. So that's a generic approach that I would give. But Toastmasters is a self-paced environment. So even I know people who have given 2 speeches in a year, and that's perfectly fine, because if that's your objective and goal and that helps lead to that, that's the pace you go at. Some people have already done 11 levels in their initial journey itself, which is also fine because that's their goals and objectives. So there is no right answer to this. There are multiple ways. What I suggested is an aspect that you could take if you're trying to figure out what the right answer for you could be.
Thank you, DTM Vivek. All right. In the interest of time, let's just take one last question. And yeah, Abhinay, you can shoot your question.
Yes. Yeah. How should we handle difficult conversations, and how Toastmasters helps in addressing these difficult conversations? Like if I go to a one-on-one meetings or any other meeting, right? Like I have my own goals, and the other person also have other goals. Like how should we solve this communication? Like how should I communicate better to solve this?
I mean, you've given the answer to your question itself. Is communication is key to that, right? Like the difficult conversation is about the ability to communicate, and knowing your audience goes back to the earlier point that I made with respect to knowing your audience. In this case, it could be in a one-on-one setting or elsewhere. Like what is in it for them that they're getting into this conversation? And if you're able to put yourself in their shoes, you'll reach that middle ground to take that conversation forward with outcomes that both of you agree make sense from that conversation. And the ability to understand that, again, how that helps from how you can leverage a Toastmaster setting for that is you're going to meet diverse set of people with diverse thought processes. Oftentimes the challenge is we see things from our vantage point and we do not realize that other people could see the same truth from a different vantage point. Right? As simple as if you're sitting in your apartment on the 15th floor balcony and someone's on the ground floor of the same apartment, geographically, you're both in the same location. Both of you will see a different sunset, my guarantee. Right? It could be seconds different, could be milliseconds different, but you will see a different sunset. But it was the same sun, it's the same sunset. So that position where you're coming from is very different. And having to understand that different perspective is the ability to connect with different people, to understand those different perspectives, so that when you walk into that meeting, you're armed with the fact that people could see it from a different way. And how do I connect the dots there? That's one part. The second thing, from a curriculum standpoint, if you go into level 3 and level 4 of any of the paths, some of the electives specifically focus on this. One is the ability to handle a difficult audience slash crowd is one of the projects, where if you go through the objectives, it actually asks the audience to be difficult purposely, so that you can practice the skill of how do you politely slash diplomatically still get your message across without hurting, insulting anyone, and get through the conversation and the goal that you have. So there are different projects, and you can always add that to your speech objectives. Toastmasters is that playground, so you don't necessarily need to stick to that rule book. So if that is a specific thing that you want to solve for, you can let your club know that, hey, I want to do a speech in this format, or I want to do this type of communication style, to see that how do I practice it. So there are various objectives that are already available, but I don't want you to feel like, oh, if this particular scenario is not there in the curriculum, then I can't do it, because this is that playground which allows you to creatively also come up with project objectives for yourself, and you can let your evaluator know that, can you evaluate me on this particular skill set that I really want to practice on.
Got it. Thanks.
Right. Yes. Thank you again, DTM Vivek, for sharing such an insight and giving us an update on how the pathway looks like after like third or fourth, because I didn't know that we have different versions as well, like meeting the difficult audience and all. So that was an update for me. So thanks again for sharing your expertise with all of us. Can we have a big round of applause again for DTM Vivek? Thank you. All right. So now we are done with the keynote speech, and it's time to move on to our table topic session. This is an opportunity for all our guest, prospective members, and the existing members to practice the impromptu speaking. So I encourage everyone to participate and share your insight on the topics presented by our table topic master. So without further ado, let's dive into our table topic session. So in order to conduct the table topics, please welcome our topic master, who's Toastmaster Ramesh. He's a natural networker and a true asset to any team. And his favorite quote is, never give up. Over to you, Toastmaster Ramesh.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Nivedita. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and my dear guests. Today is an important day for our club because we have an open house. With that, today I'm going to be your topic master. The session we are going to conduct now is table topic session. Before that, I would like to share my screen. Hope everyone is able to see my screen. Everyone knew that yesterday we had a great day. There was a Women's Day. So hope everyone was celebrated, particularly all the women are here. From my end, happy Women's Day to you once again. So today the topic is going to be all related to women. Okay. Before that, for the benefits of guests, I would like to explain what is meant by table topic. Table topic is a session which will help you to invigorate your energy to get into everything, because many people will have a tendency to not deliver a speech on spot. So this will help you to develop your skill. It will help you to quickly organize and deliver your speech. So that's why it's called the table topic speech. You can consider this as a small speech as well, because here you have to speak in a such a way that you have to open your body and you have to close. And this also provides a speaking opportunity for any members. Today I am requesting all the guests to participate as much as possible. It will help you to develop your speaking skill, as well as it will open the door for your future. Okay. With that, before getting to the table topic speech, I would like to highlight one thing. The allowed time is 1 to 2 minutes. After 1 minute, the green card will be displayed. After 1 minute 30 seconds, the yellow card will be displayed. After 2 minutes, the red card will be displayed. After 2 minutes, we will be allowed 30 seconds to wrap up our speech. So with that, I'm ready to go with my topics. I would like to invite the guest first. So I could see there are 4 guests in our meeting today. Anyone would like to take it forward? I have a set of questions like 1 to 8 questions. And you can choose any letters from A to H. So accordingly, your question will fly. I'm expecting a volunteers from the guest list. First preference to the guest first. So I could see there are 4 guests today. Mayud, Jisa, Anthony, and Ritvich. So anyone would like to take it forward? Can you be a kickstarter of the meeting today? Okay. Let them take some time. Let them understand what it is going to be. So for that, I would like to request any of the club members come forward to take a first question. So based on that, by seeing that, they'll get a invigorate and they'll come forward. Toastmaster Abhinay. Okay, you can choose any letters from A to H. Accordingly, I'll show you my question.
A.
A. Okay. So this is your questions. Why do we need more women in leadership? Why do we need more women in leadership? It's over to you, Abhinay.
Women bring a different perspective onto the table. So we generally men think in one way, and whereas the women think in some other way. I remember was having a conversation with one of my friend, and he questioned me. Do you know generally in Indian marriages the girl's age is little lower than the man's age? I was surprised with his question, and I did not have an answer. But he mentioned that women's brain is much more powerful and they can think much ahead than much faster than the men's brain. So that's the reason to balance that. Generally, in Indian marriages, the woman's age will be little lesser than the man's age. So the point I was making is the woman's brain is actually faster and they can think in all the directions. And that's the perception they can bring even to the leadership thing. When even in the companies, in the corporate, whatever they are, they can think fast, they can handle multiple tasks, and their thought process is also different. That makes us the executives to take a good call. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Abhinay. You are rightly said that you can get plenty of ideas from them. Not only that, nowadays women are they're very bold enough to fight with men. Whatever the positivity they have from men's side, the same thing they have in women's side as well. Because today in a world we are there to give equality to everyone. So you are rightly said that women are good in leadership as well. We have to think in that aspect, and you have to be happy in such a case that you are working under any women leadership. Okay, with that, I would like to invite other member or any guest come forward. I hope the guest would have understood that how this table topic session would go. So I would like to invite any of our guests, please. Get a chance. Try Mayur. Good. So can you choose any letters from A to H? Actually, I have shown wrong question to Abhinay. Instead of A, I shown D. So except D, you can choose any letters.
C.
C. Okay. Okay. Here is your question. What progress have you seen on gender equality in your life and work? What progress have you seen on gender equality in your life and work? Over to you, Mayor.
Okay. So good morning, all. It's a very interesting question. So as I joined my corporate life, so as we can see, like our government organization and private organization are very much serious about gender equality. So as a result of this revolution, many state governments are also declared to include 50% women into their administration services, because they can get this kind of insight on some studies, many international organizations. We can see many CEOs, and if we take the example of our country, PM Indira Gandhi, at her tenure, she can also do a very wonderful, we can say, wonderful decisions like separation of Bangladesh and all, and many important decisions she can do. So as a part of that, many organization and corporate decided to include and increase the woman percentage into their organization. So, as I work in the corporate, in my organization, our CEO is also an woman. So I think it was a good initiative, and because of all the people in society included into the organization or any part of the decision, it would be the better, and the decision would be the great. So according to me, this would be the great initiative. Because everyone can get the equal opportunities, like our country or many other developed countries or developing countries. We can think about this topic, but rest of the world also, there are underdeveloped countries. There are also women are not getting much benefit. So as per my suggestion, as a underdeveloped country or developed country, should we also think about that part? And if I can think about the India, we are drastically changing our decision powers, and all of the organizations are including women into their administration. So I think this would be the great. Yeah, that's all from my side. Thanks.
Thank you, Mai. Thank you, Mai. It was a great speech as a guest, and I really appreciate it for joining with us. So as you rightly said, the equality is playing a very important role in many cases. For example, now I am working as a garment technician. In my field, mostly we are a men's as a technician. But recently we have given a chance to two female as well. They came into the picture and they have changed many things drastically. Because I am handling a women's wear, so many things I cannot understand how they will feel whenever they're wearing the garment. So the aspect they have changed. We are ready to change everything. So in that case, we have to give an equality to everyone. So rightly said. So with that, I would like to go to the next question. I'm squad. Richardson has raised his hand. So can you choose any letters from A to G except D and C?
B.
B. B. B.
Yes.
Okay. Good question for you. Okay. Here's a question to you. Who is the most influential woman you know? How does she inspire you? Who is the most influential woman you know? How does she inspire you?
Thank you, Toastmaster Ramesh. Well, I grew up in a very small village called Gonibid, and most of you know this, that my grandmother is somebody who I admire a lot. I admire her in so much that, I have had a tattoo on my hand. I also have a tattoo of my mother on my hand. So everybody pulls my hand saying that, where is the next picture coming of your wife? So I said, okay, I'll give that 10 years time. And then I actually told this to my wife that, if we go along for 10 years, you will definitely have a place in my hand, and it'll be tattooed on my hand. So there are a lot of people who have come in my life. Unfortunately, my grandmother is not there with us, but she was not educated. And I always tell this to everybody. I've not seen Mother Teresa, but for me, she was the Mother Teresa of my life, because she always instilled good values in me, which is what the testament to most of the people that see me as. Growing up in village is not a simple task, because everybody has a set discipline in their life. And what I saw with my grandmother was, there was always ample amount of money, love that she gave. And we were not a rich family, we were farmers. And the love that she gave is something that I still miss. I tell my mother, you're not my mother. My first mother is always your mother, and then followed by you. So women have emotional quotient in them which men do not have. and which is something that I always believe that is how the balance is always struck between two people, that is men and women. We always think logically, women always think emotionally, and that is how you need to bring two people together. That is how the world works. And it's always good to understand women from their perspective, and then you also come together from your perspective and always shed energy, love, and warmth to all the people in the world. Thank you for the wonderful topic. Back to you, Toastmaster Ramesh.
Thank you, Toastmaster. Sir, you have rightly said that if you ask the same question to any of our friends, any of our fellow Toastmasters, the first number will come to our mind is our mother. And in your case, one step ahead, the grandmother. It's a good thing actually. Many cases, our mothers are like our main influencers. They have given a way. They have made our path. So good to know that. So I would like to go with last one question. I'm requesting one more guest to participate. Okay. Himanshu raised his hand. So you can choose any letters from A to G except D, C, B. Not RCB, it's a DCB.
E. Letter E.
Letter E. E. 8%. Okay. Good. Here is the question. What are some of the biggest challenges that women face today? What are some of the biggest challenges that women face today? Over to you, Toastmaster Himanshu.
Thank you for this question, Ramesh. The first thing that comes to my mind is the companies give 6-month maternity leave, but 2 weeks paternity leave. What they are trying to indicate is the responsibility of the child lies more with mother rather than the father, which is going to prevent the mother from actually working in the office if she wants to. This is one big challenge in the garb of caring for the mother. There is a disparity that we see in the office. When it comes to home, the responsibility of cooking, that is hard to go away. Eventually, I am also guilty of the same, that somewhere the problem of the cooking, which is also a big burden. You have to get the food prepared in the morning, which is actually the most productive time the person can have. And that's when the women have to actually tell the cook what should they cook today, or they have to prepare it themselves, also order groceries if required. Good thing is, now we have Zepto and other platforms which can deliver in 8 to 10 minutes. But if we go beyond just the life, the personal household and the work, this is a bigger challenge overall in how do we shape the future of the world, right? And do we have equal seat for women and men at the table who are making those calls? We know there are so many women leaders who have come up. Indra Nooyi is one good example. Michelle Obama is another inspiration. Barack Obama always credits Michelle Obama for his success. But we don't have enough number of seats at the table. Even in UN, there is only very few percentage of women who are representing the poorest of the countries like Africa, where probably they should have a bigger say in terms of how progress should be determined in these countries. That's where you see the implication of that, which is we are extracting more and more resources out of our Mother Earth. You look at China, again, the leadership is very male dominant. These are all manifestations of the problem where women have not been given an equal seat. With that, I would say we have a lot of work to do in the next century to change all of this. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Himanshu. Rightly said that nowadays women are facing a lot of challenges in terms of equality, in terms of opportunity. Beyond that, they are struggling and they are fighting and they are coming with a good strength. So they are getting invigorated from the God, I hope. So we have to appreciate them, even though they are balancing both family and the work. That somewhere we as a men, we are struggling to get it done. So with that, I would like to conclude this table topic session. Thank you so much for all the speakers and participants. Over to you, Toastmaster Nivedita.
Thank you. Thank you, Table Topic Master. And thanks to all the participants for such an engaging session. And a big thanks to our Table Topic Master for getting such thought-provoking questions. I truly felt it was a Women's Day today rather than yesterday. So yeah. Now, as we conclude our table topic session, let's move into our final segment of today's meeting, which is the evaluation section. So to conduct the evaluation, please welcome back to the stage our general evaluator, Toastmaster Ritika.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nivedita. Good morning once again. I'm back with the General Evaluator's evaluation report. Before I spell out my report, let me quickly call upon the tag team. I would request the tag team to very briefly summarize their reports, starting with Toastmaster Madhusmita to present her timer report. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ritika. I've already said the timings taken by each of the speakers. First, keynote speaker DTM Vivek. The speech was within time, and he took 20 minutes 10 seconds. Then coming to table topics, Toastmaster Avinay took 1 minute 10 seconds. Guest Mayur took 2 minutes 5 seconds. Toastmaster Richard took 2 minutes 2 seconds, and Toastmaster Himanshu took 2 minutes 24 seconds. So everyone was within time. So that's my report. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster Ritika.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Madhusmita. Congratulations to all the table topic speakers. You all were within time. The main reason why we have a timer role in all our sessions is so that we don't overspeak and we don't be absolutely dumb when we are told to speak. So that's the essence of how time is when we are on the stage and have to spell out our thoughts. Moving on, let's call upon our counter for today to please present his report. Over to you, Seshadri.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ritika. Yeah, before I share my report, I just want to say one thing. So, what do you get from the report of an ARC counter is I have some numbers that is tallied across various words or crutch words or phrases that you have used. What a person can take from their corresponding row is that the major challenges or filler words that they have used and why they could ask themselves the question why they have used. Usually the scenario is when a person gets lost of words, they would use some crutch words. That is a crux. Since I'm joined from my phone, I would share my uh, a report which I have. I hope this is quite visible, which I have taken note in my laptop. One thing I would want to mention is uh, from Toastmaster Ritika, who have made her time flawlessly without the use of any crutch words. So I would want to congratulate her and also the DTM Richa, DTM Vivek, they have used very less number of crutch words. And also to note Toastmaster Nivedita, um, just make sure you are practicing more on your speeches or uh, go through the recording so you can make use of the lessons learned from here. And also Mayur, since you are a guest as well, but you can definitely make sure of how frequently you are using your ums, ers, and all that. Source importantly, that could definitely improve your speech going further. So with that, I conclude my report. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster Ritika.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Seshadri, for that report. And I like those encouraging tips that you shared with everyone on how to improvise and how to take these statistics in mind in a productive way. I think that's the crux of actually having a tag team together. Thank you once again. Moving forward, let's quickly welcome DTM Richa to present her grammarian report. Over to you, Richa.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ritika. And the grammarian is back to highlight what are the things that we can take back from this meeting. To begin with, Our word of the day, invigorate, was used a plenty of times today by Toastmaster Ritika, DTM Vivek, Toastmaster Nivedita, Toastmaster Ramesh. Open the door to, the phrase of the day was used by Toastmaster Ritika. I'm sorry if someone else used it and I missed it. Ramesh raising his hand. I might have missed it. It's because there was so many good things happening in the meeting, and the list of which comes here. I would like to highlight some of the takeaways or some of the really good phrases which DTM Vivek used. The first things which stood out for me is communication is 20% of what you say and 80% of what the audience hears. Practice makes perfect, and practice brings confidence. I would really like to appreciate DTM Vivek's presence, that he did not use the entire phrase practice makes a man perfect when it was a Women's Day yesterday. He just used practice makes perfect. Toastmaster is a playground. You can have more than one mentor at any point of time. One project, 12 months, right? One project each month, 2 months of summer vacation, and use atomic habits. So all of these are some takeaways from DTM Vivek's keynote address today, coming with what went really, or what are the points, vocabulary usages that we can take back from this meeting today. Worldwide, empowers, effective communicator, exceptional practice, ground mental well-being, crystallize, financial wellness, concise, acknowledge challenges, power of manifestation. We do not need to be like someone else. Empathy, supportive crowd perspective, push the bar. That's a phrase again. Diverse set of people, t-shirt size that fits all, insightful, dust yourself, admire, right? A lot of good usages throughout the meeting. Few points of improvements which I observed, not just with one, with a few of us. So a few of us tended to use the word so at the beginning of each sentence, to use like so finally, so according to me. We can drop the so over there, because finally itself tells that it's connected to the next sentence. What you're bringing up, according to me, itself is connected to the next part of the sentence. Drop that so. Again, there's one more thing which I've observed. A couple of us used such an engaging session or such a thought-provoking message, right? Such a is not needed. If we say it was an engaging session, it forms a complete word itself. It forms a complete phrase and gives the message across in a more powerful way. So lose that such a. Even I was typing something in the chat and I realized that such a is weak usage over there. With that, a lot of things to learn throughout the session, and I hope that our guests did enjoy, did take back a lot of it. Please keep coming back, and all the best. Back to you, Toastmaster Ritika.
Thank you so much, DTM Richa. I think we all did very well with our English language today. I'm sure all of us are, I think, avid readers or great communicators naturally. Thank you for all the tips, DTM Richa. Let's give a big round of applause to the tag team. Now it's time to present my general evaluation report. Just give. Sorry for that. The doorbell chooses to ring only when I have to present my GE report. All right. So today we had great role takers, starting with the Sergeant at Arms, DTM Richa. I think the energy that you brought in right at the beginning and actually very casually explained what it is all about. The cardinal rules was spelled out in a very friendly manner. That is what we look forward to, without making it like a gospel truth or principle. So that was excellent. Moving on, presiding officer, club president, Toastmaster Richard. You always come up with some thought-provoking stories or phrases, or simply an Irish story that you shared with us today. All these things only motivate the members, so that was very well done. You opened the session as well with a golden gavel. Excellent. You had your announcements in place. You also had the guests introduce themselves. So well done there. Moving on, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Nivedita. A lot of effort has gone in, a lot of preparation you have put in, and it was evident throughout. The handovers were crisp. The script was well prepared, and you were also conscious of how much to share and when. It was very well shared across and distributed throughout the session. Very well done. And your preparation of introducing the keynote speaker, introducing the table topic master as well was very well done. Moving on, table topic master, Toastmaster Ramesh. Excellent job done as a table topic master. You explained what table topics is. You reiterated what the timings are for the benefit of guests. And in your own sweet way, you were trying to nudge the guests as well, which was very well done. The topics were very relatable, very current to what is happening. So well done over there as well. To the tag team, timer Toastmaster Madhusmita, excellent job done of showcasing the timer cards. Just a little prep work from before, just get a gist of what the session is going to be, go through the agenda so that you are just a little more prepared when you take up the role. Our counter, Toastmaster Seshadri, you are a new member to Speaker Squad, and I see you doing the our counter role so well, so smoothly. Very well done over there once again. And DTM Richa, a seasoned Toastmaster, your experience showed across today as well. Excellent job as a grammarian. Very easy to use word of the day. I think this is what we look forward to. It adds to our vocabulary and yet makes it easy for us to use in the session as well. So overall, excellent. And of course, how can I not mention DTM Vivek Shah? I think this is exactly what Speaker Squad wanted for an open house. Swimming and how to do it, what to do. That was a very good metaphor to use to bring about how to polish our communication skills. I would like to once again thank you for taking up our invitation, and in one ping of mine you just responded and the deal was sealed. Thank you once again for not wasting time for yourself and us. We knew you are on board immediately. Thank you for your insightful speech today. And with that, I would wrap up my GE report and hand it back to probably Toastmaster Richard, because we are already at the end of time. So over to you, Toastmaster Richard. You are on mute, Richard.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Ritika. In the interest of time, I will share the voting link in the chat box. Please go ahead and vote. Meanwhile, can I request all the members to come on video if possible so that we can take a picture? I'll give you 5 seconds or 10 seconds to come on the video. There you go. There you go. Superb. Thank you, Anthony. That's so sweet of you. Ramesh, can we go ahead?
Ready, 1, 2, 3, go. One moment. Okay, one more. Yes, done.
Thank you, everyone. While you guys go ahead and vote, I have a couple of things to say. Number one, thank you, DTM Vivek. Our deepest gratitude to our keynote speaker, because your insights on Toastmasters and professional growth were truly illuminating. You have inspired us to hone our communication and leadership for success in probably all aspects of life. So a big thank you to DTM Vivek for taking up our invitation and joining, being the keynote speaker for the open house session. I would also like to thank the XCOM team. Everybody has done a fabulous job in terms of posters. Thank you, Ramesh, in terms of communication within the members to ensure that everybody was on board in terms of the agenda. And thank you, Nivedita, for doing all your research possible and reaching out to us and asking us all the right questions, I would say, to ensure the session went really well. Other than that, I would like to hear from the guests what you felt about the session. What was your takeaways from the session? So Mayur, we'll start with you if you're there. What was your takeaways from the session? And
it was a good session. We can get a lot of information about different topics, and yeah, that was great. Yeah.
Thank you, Mayur. Jisha, if you're still there, can you give us your thoughts on the session?
Well, I think the sessions were really good. It is inspiring. It is scary as well. It's just that, I think I would have probably added one more thing to the list of fears that I have, which is lack of knowledge. Right. But apart from that, I think I'm good. Let's see.
Thank you, Jisha. I will definitely connect with you to understand more about how we can cater to your needs. Last, we have few more people. Anthony, I know you're still in the car. If you can speak, only then speak. Otherwise, we totally understand you're driving. So
Yeah,
I can totally.
I can. Yeah. See,
Yes,
I think
Anthony.
yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so I think the most important thing what I noticed was the energy. I think all the Toastmasters who presented, right, there was a lot of energy in it, which is the most critical thing when it comes to communication, right? I think that's of course, impromptu speaking and having knowledge is all very important. But I think most importantly, what I noticed is the energy that came across. That is one. The second is almost the clarity, right? Vivek, I mean, hats off to you. I mean, great inspiration in the morning for me. A lot of clarity that you brought on to my head personally, So I think that is energy and clarity of speech is what a great takeaway, especially for me.
Thank you, Anthony. Last but not the least, we have Ritwij. Ritwij, can you give us your insights on the session?
Yeah, this session was very insightful. Along with the skill of communication, we also got to learn things on many topics. So, and also I'd like to say that since it's great that we are involved for 90 minutes continuously without anyone losing its interest. So that's good.
Thank you so much, Ritwij. With that being said, in the interest of time, I'll go ahead and announce the results of the voting. The best role taker for today, without any doubt, is our general evaluator, Toastmaster Ritika. Best auxiliary role taker is DTM Richa. Best table topic speaker is Toastmaster Himanshu. Thank you all. I have a closing thought. I have two closing thoughts. Like John Powell said, communication is the solvent of all problems and is the foundation for personal development. And Rudyard Kipling said, words are the most powerful drug used by mankind. So thank you for the general evaluator, tank team, and our Toastmaster of the day for their contribution to the success of this session. And I also thank all the guests who joined in this session. I will definitely get in touch with you to understand more about how we can cater to your needs. And please know that our club is currently seeking new members. So please get in touch with our vice president of our membership, Nivedita, for more details. And thank you everyone who participated. To all the fellow Toastmasters and guests, we know you will attend our next meeting, which will be at the same time next week. So please put away your chairs and have a great weekend. Meeting adjourned.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
guys.
Thanks, everyone.